Have you thought about the Holy Spirit being chaliced in the chakra, in each of the chakras? Have you thought about how the Holy Spirit can quicken in you in response to your fervor? The ultimate vibration, the balanced vibration of each chakra. Thus wisdom glows by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit enhances and breaks the bread of life of the petals of God. Now I come to give to you the oil of gladness from my heart, the gladness and the rejoicing that because that universal mind is so in you, with you, a part of you, all around you, that there is hope for self-transcendence. You are not stuck in the mud of mediocrity, but you can transcend the self moment by moment, day by day. Our God has not limited you, and the Holy Spirit's fervor for your victory can be seen as you yourself are alive with the excitement of the next new assignment to amplify the path and the teachings for all who yearn to drink of this elixir, this golden elixir that truly nourishes the cells of the mind and prepares that mind to be fused with God's mind. As has been said, there is no other mind. Now visualize going forth from your crown chakra, infinite needle rays piercing the density and darkness of the earth, especially in those places where children of all races and nations are deprived of the true education. The true education begins with the heart, and thus out of the heart are the issues of life. Out of the heart there is the compassion that draws wisdom as twin pillars in the temple of being. I, Lanto, am one with the messages given by Elohim and archangels. Know this, beloved, that we have the same determination, and our issues include all that is fed the minds of children on television, through music that destroys, through the media, through books that are written to destroy the spirit. Think of it, beloved, the spirit of the little child, happy, every moment, every waking moment, seeking to learn. To know and to desire to know is the native instinct of the soul. Thus look at the little child unhampered, unfettered, and uncontaminated, and say to yourself, I was once that little child, and I would be that little child again. Much must be accomplished in the earth. You have made education a priority. You have invited guests to speak on the subject throughout this conference. You see the revolution happening before your very eyes. I draw you back to the source of all being, and I say, let all that you do to bring forward, indeed the entire human race, be coated with the light of eternity, and break the bread of eternity, so that those who have the ultimate knowledge may also have the ultimate gift of the Holy Spirit, the gift of wisdom. For what are the gifts, beloved, without the Spirit? And what is the Spirit if it be not introduced, if if it be not a part of each one's life. You realize that, though the Spirit of the Lord is everywhere, God has appointed one of his ascended sons to represent that Spirit. You call that one the great Lord, the Mahachohan. I ask you, as you walk here and there, do your errands, and you think of God, to receive the Mahachohan as your personal friend, advisor, counselor, companion, and one who keeps you in the course of your own very special and unique divine plan. Do not think of the Holy Spirit merely of a spirit that permeates the cosmos, but as an individual teacher and the representative for this planet, being the one who shall steer you in the places of all right knowledge and right action. Thus, you may gather that our message to you today is to bolster all innovations and explosions in learning with deep foundations in the Holy Spirit, in God, and in your I Am presence. The I Am that I Am in you is the all power of God, the all wisdom of God, the all love of God. That I Am presence is dearest friend and father, mother. Know then that to walk and talk with God always shall be for you the kingdom, and it shall be for you every victory. You will hear speakers speak on the deplorable situations of education. Indeed, programs on television saturate the media with an understanding of what children deal with. The product of violence has been discussed, and the product of homes where children have not had the love and care and bonding. Thus, anger is the principal vibration of many children, and it is around the world, but very much so centered in advanced societies where mothers work. You see the outcome and you say, what will earth be like in 50 years when the angry ones are all in positions of power? You have already seen it, for the angry ones have been in positions of power around the world. You have suffered 2 world wars, the war in Korea, and then in Saudi Arabia, and now in Bosnia, and warring tribes. It is an angry planet, beloved. What is the answer to those who are past the days of being suckled by their mothers? The answer must be, beloved, a profound love, for at any age the child of the heart responds to love. Yes, we see the hardened ones, but they can be softened. It will take more than human knowledge. It will take the Holy Spirit and the violet flame and a tremendous understanding and a desire to help those. This is indeed a sadness in the heart of the Blessed Mother. The sadness that so many souls will be deprived of oneness with Christ, with Buddha, oneness with God, for their anger prevents it. You can see then the handwriting on the wall of the age of Aquarius. On the one hand, those who have walked a path of light and can pass on to generations unborn the meaning of love and family and compassion and togetherness. And then you will see the angry ones tumbling down the centuries, becoming more and more angry. The antidote for the impossible problems of the earth is the wise dominion of the self, the control of one's being, and the liberal giving of the heart. when you are in command of your forces, nothing will deter you to go after these problems. The leaders of the nations of the world have given up in many areas. They simply do not know what to do. States and nations are being bankrupted. Monies are falling. And there is threat of economic collapse here and there. The problems are too great. What shall come upon the people? You watch almost in horror as you see your own leaders not being able to deal with the critical issues of the times. Wise dominion, beloved, it begins in the heart, it extends to the larger circle. It will take much to restore earlier centuries when drugs were unknown, when mothers stayed at home, when children learned even by candlelight. And so a president was born out of humble circumstances, only to prove that anyone in this nation or any nation can rise to the top, either with the help of God or with the help of fallen angels. You have seen both kinds, day after day. Some of you will not read or look at even the president of this nation. You are so disturbed at what you see. When God government ought to be throughout the earth, and politicking and bickering and dickering is the order of the day. Let us raise up children who have the vision of leadership, who can be humble followers, who can know a breadth of knowledge that will carry them far. Let your souls be tutored by the Holy Spirit and your Holy Christ self, and resolve again, in case you may have broken your resolve, to obey the direction of your Holy Christ self. With Lord Confucius, I teach at the Royal Teton Retreat in the Etheric Octave. I welcome you to this retreat, for out of the East, Lord Confucius has come to sponsor this Western civilization, as have I. It has been predicted that great things shall come upon South America. But do not be superstitious. It shall not happen unless you make it happen. It is not something that will just come to pass. It is ordained of God, but those in embodiment must make that civilization happen. The strongest point in favor of this victory is your devotion to the Blessed Mother, to the Lord Christ. And the strongest counterforce against that golden age civilization is confusion, class consciousness, the hoarding of wealth, and also the eating of those foods that cause the mind not to be as sharp as it ought to be. And so, beloved, every continent and nation, every little tongue has its challenges. You must believe and know, when you feel the fervor of God within you and you band together with others, that you can do all things through God who does strengthen you. Nothing is impossible to God. Knowledge gained daily and built upon and internalized will produce wisdom. Wisdom that comes with the decades of observing oneself, one's people, one's nation, seeing the repetition of ignorance and seeing the bright future when individuals such as yourselves are determined to break out of the mold of the ordinary and to recognize the extraordinary potential of the human being when that human being is endued with a living presence of God. This is how small numbers through the ages have brought civilization to new heights. So let it be done again, for you know the power of the 10,000 times 10,000. You know the way of freedom. Let the children of the earth know their divine sponsors, and let the keepers of the flame as mediators bring them together as one. I, Lanto, recommend your deep study in Taoism throughout Summit University this summer, for it shall give you a peace that continually transcends itself as you enter the heart of the Tao and know yourself as the all and the nothing. For the sake of the illumination of a planet, I invite all Earth's evolutions who have attained to a certain level of the love of God to study at the Royal Teton Retreat until you have truly made illumination's flame a scepter of authority that you may wield in God's name. In the holy name I am that I am, I too seal the crown chakra of each one, and in that sealing I impart to you the Holy Spirit's amplification of wisdom. I bow to wisdom's flame in your heart.